at all 5 victims. Take a look at the photos. One of them, 18-year-old Waylon Collins, a well-known athlete here at Tomball High School. He was killed, the family says, along with Waylon's 16-year-old brother Carson and 11-year-old brother Hudson. Their 11-year-old cousin Bryson also killed, along with the grandfather of all 4 boys, 66-year-old Mark Collins. Crime Stoppers of Houston arranged a news conference at an area church just a short time ago with the Collins family and a longtime pastor and also a friend. Here's a little bit of what was said just a few minutes ago.
Those kids were bright, shining stars when coaching through baseball. And these next few days are going to be tough on all of us.
This is absolutely one of the most gut-wrenching scenarios that I've dealt with, and I've seen a lot and been through a lot, and I cannot imagine what this family is going through.
Nobody can imagine what this family is going through. Can you imagine? The mother and father of the 3 Collins brothers. Those 3 brothers, their only children. I stopped by the family's home earlier. That's also where the family's pastor spent many hours over the last couple of days, or since last night at least. He says this is a family of deep faith, and faith will help get them through what is, to so many people, so unimaginable. Reporting live from Tomball, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
A story we've been following for several weeks. It turned out in the worst way possible. Jason, thank you. Today, balloons placed on the fence of a property where the family was killed. Let's go live now to Marcelino Benito as investigators made their way back to the property today. Marcelino?
Well, and that's right. This small town has been living in fear for the last 3 weeks as this manhunt unfolded. And today, they're just absolutely horrified and stunned as to how it ended. The Leon County Sheriff's Office tells us that yesterday afternoon, they did find the bodies of those 5 family members inside a home on this ranch property near Centerville. Now, this ranch is located off Highway 7. It's located actually just half a mile from where Gonzalo Lopez first escaped that prison bus last month. Investigators say Lopez broke into the home sometime Thursday, gained access to several firearms. He assaulted a 66-year-old grandfather, his 18-year-old grandson, and then those 3 other younger grandsons. After those murders, he took their white pickup truck on the property. Hours later, he was spotted south of San Antonio, and after a short police chase, he was killed in a shootout with police. Back in Centerville, relief the manhunt is over, but grieving underway for these 5 family members.
Welcome to Straddled Events. On this channel, we bring you the truth. Sometimes the truth is quite ugly, unbearable, and you just don't want to deal with it. But on this channel, you're going to get it anyway. It is called straddled because most people are straddled between the fence of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And on this channel, we're going to ask you to do better. Let's go. This is a very sad situation for this family. Very sad. Just imagine you're a wife and you have to bury your husband and your 4 grandchildren. Or imagine this, you are a son and you have to bury your father, 3 of your own children, your only 3 children, and your nephew. Or just imagine this, you are a son and you have to bury your father, 3 of your nephews, and 1 of your own children. This is a situation where this family is going to need a lot of prayers and a lot of peace because they're going to go through some heavy times here in the near future. We're going to ask for prayers for this family. Ask God to grant them peace of mind in this terrible time, and may all these people somehow rest in peace. But you know, you go to the country, you have family homes and vacation homes in the country to get away from all the trouble and all the hustle that go on in the city. The country is supposed to be peaceful, but nowadays we're not living in peaceful times. So even if you move to the country, you have a home in the country, you need to think about animals, preferably pit bulls, German shepherds, and Doberman pinschers. Those will keep people out of your property. Also, a 12 to 15 foot fence with some barbed wire on it or some type of shocking technique on it to keep people out. I know it sounds dramatic, it sounds like a lot, but we're living in a time when people take things by force. That includes your property and your life. So you have to protect yourself. And also, you might want to think about installing some type of safe room in your house, where if somebody does intrude on your land or intrude in your house, you have a room that you can go to that can't nobody get in. This is just some things that I would do if I had a home in the country, because this is the time we're living in. Observe, prepare, and protect. That's what this is about.
Let's walk you through what we know right now. On May 12th, Lopez slipped his shackles, attacked a corrections officer, and hijacked a prison bus in Leon County during a transport between prisons. The next day, the search turned into a massive manhunt with resources from around the state coming to Centerville. On May 18th, authorities released new photos from the hours before the hijacking, showing Lopez cuffed on his way to the prison bus. Those authorities maintained he was still somewhere in the original search area. On May 25th, last Wednesday, more new pictures were released from U.S. Marshals showing the convicted killer's many tattoos as they continue to ask for help in finding him. And then yesterday, June 2nd, police say Lopez killed a family, stole their truck, and made his way to a rural area outside San Antonio.
And at 5:03, that's where our team coverage begins. We have Michelle Choi and Matt Doherty live on the story.
Matt is in Jordanton, about 40 miles south of San Antonio. Matt, we'll start with you.
And more than 3 weeks later, this manhunt has finally come to an end. Unfortunately, it is too late. You can see behind me, they're keeping us at quite a distance. Those state investigators are there with the Texas Rangers trying to piece together everything that happened earlier. We're in a residential neighborhood right now, and we're being told the stolen truck Lopez was driving crashed into 2 telephone poles before it finally came to a stop. Deputies put out spike strips on the nearby highway, flattening the truck's tires before it crashed. The local sheriff's office says the convicted hitman for the cartel jumped out of his truck, then started shooting at deputies who returned fire. Authorities say Lopez was armed with an AR-15 and a handgun, which he stole from a home in Leon County.
Well, yeah, it is frightening to think that he ended up right here in our city, in our county. He is accused of killing a family of 5 today in Centerville, Texas. So right there tells you just exactly how dangerous he is. He was in prison for murder. So he's serving a life sentence already. So he didn't want to go back to prison.
The neighbor whose front yard was the scene of the gunfight was not at home when this happened last night, we're told. Residents here say that they're glad that this manhunt has come to an end. But sadly, it was too late for several people.